And brought to you live via New York City, this is Bombers Game Mic. I'm Paul D, and this afternoon is the rubber match in this heavyweight shootout between these two clubs, I should say, that have really been giving each other their best, between the Philadelphia Phillies and the St. Louis Cardinals. Last night, the Cardinals, they picked up a 2-0 win in real style. An excellent 6-inning outing by Andre Pallante. Some real heroics out of the pen by none other than Ryan Stanek. And then, of course, Riley O'Brien, 1-2-3 in the ninth to secure that 2-0 lead. And, of course, the night before that, the Phillies managed to pull it out 6-5. On Monday night, the Cardinals couldn't quite get over the hill there with the rally, but they managed to come back last night, tied up 1-1, and now this is the rubber match, a businessman special. It's getaway day for both clubs, tomorrow with the off day, and then on Friday afternoon, the first of three at a weekend set on the north side of Chicago for the Redbirds, and that's the story there. But with all that said, join the Game Mic roll call. Let me know where y'all are watching or listening from. I'm going to give you the starting nine for both clubs this afternoon. So, leading off for Donnie Baseball's Philadelphia Phillies, at leadoff DH is Kyle Schwarber. Batting second at shortstop is Trey Turner. Batting third out in right field is Bryce Harper. Batting cleanup at second base is Luis Arias. Batting fifth at third base is Stott. Batting sixth out in left field is Brandon Marsh. Batting seventh behind the dish is JT Realmuto. Batting eighth at first base is Alec Baum. And batting ninth out in center field, the chip of the old block from the old man, Justin Crawford. Now, for the St. Louis Cardinals this afternoon, leading off at second base, the NL rookie sensation himself, J.J. Weatherall. Batting second at DH is Ivan Herrera. Batting third at first base is Alec Burleson. Batting cleanup out in right field is Jordan Alexander Walker. Batting fifth in center field is Nate Church. Batting sixth at shortstop is Mason Wynn. Had a big old night last night. Batting seventh at the hot corner is Cesar Prieto. Batting eighth in left field is Jose Fermin, and batting ninth behind the dish is Jimmy Crooks. Now, starting this afternoon for the Redbirds is none other than the 29-year-old right-hander Kyle Leahy. And Kyle Leahy, since mid to late June, has turned around his 2026 campaign entirely. How good has he been? He's also coming off a win, I believe, in his most recent start. Bring it up here. Yes, indeed. His last start back on the 7th of August there against the Rockies right here at Busch Stadium. And in that particular game, he went 5 innings pitched, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. Throwing with a great deal more conviction, a lot more confidence, very purposeful, and it's been very impressive. And starting for the Phillies this afternoon is a fellow at this point who needs very little introduction for those in the know, which is a 36-year-old right-hander, the starter Zack Wheeler. Having an excellent year for Philadelphia, makes up the other part of that dynamic duo at the top of the rotation there with Cristopher Sanchez, who of course started last night. In 19 games this year, Zack Wheeler is 10-3 with a 2.69 ERA, 110 and a third innings pitched, 132 strikeouts in that span. So we're talking about 22 more strikeouts than innings pitched, and a whip of 0.98. So those are your starting nine and the starters for both clubs this afternoon. We're about 2.5 minutes away here from scheduled first pitch. So join that Game Mic roll call. Let me see where y'all are watching or listening from. Leading off from down in Nolens, is Philip. Nola greets fans from any platform. Lots of action called by Paul G. Good TL. Good to see you, Philip. Setting the tone. Harold Hausman. Let's go Redbirds. Cheers, Harold. Welcome back this afternoon. I hope you had a good night's sleep. Thurman. My old friend Thurman. It's good to see you, Thurman. Hey, guys. The early catches the worm. Cheers to that, Thurman. I hope everything is going well out there in Uganda. Kokoda joining us from Southeast Texas. Let's go Cards. Cheers, Kokoda. Jack Loan. Hi. Let's go St. Louis Cardinals. Cheers to that, Jack. Welcome aboard. Brother Joe, number 4. Let's go. Good afternoon, Paul and Chet. Good afternoon, Brother Joe. Russell Morrow. Hi, everyone. Hi from St. Louis. Cheers to St. Lou. Jack Lone. Okie dokie. Game does start at 1:15 Central. Justin Beasley on his lunch break. Good afternoon, chat, everyone. Be sure to smash that like button. Jimmy Otero. Good afternoon, Paul D. Fingers crossed for this game. I know exactly how you feel, Jimmy O. Braylon Beasley. Get back to work, Dad. Russell Morrow. Hi, Paul. Hi, Russell. Anthony D. Michelle. Greetings from South Dakota. Go Cards. Make it 2 in a row. It's good to see you, Anthony. On my lunch break. Indeed. Heather Velo. What's up, Paul? How you doing? I'm back. Let's go Cards. I'm doing good, Heather. I'm glad to see you seem to be doing well yourself. Welcome back. Great to have you. Edgar Williams. ESPN is not happy with last night, resulting on a Cards victory. I think I can live with that. Choir guy. Hey, Paul, if we win this today, the Cardinals may have a shot at the wild card. Could be a 2011 deja vu. That would be something. DJ Nick Fly. Was happening, Paul? Checking in from work in Springfield, Missouri. Hopefully we can finally get a day game win. Cheers to you, DJ Nick Fly. I know you're usually calling in from Sparta. And Skip Care. Let's go Cards. Now on to the field is the St. Louis Cardinals. They are wearing their traditional whites, tops and bottoms, birds on the bat, red letters and numbers with the red ball cap with the white interlocking STL emblazoned across the front. Kyle Leahy is on the bump. A four-seamer, a curve, a slider, a sinker. A little bit of everything there from Kyle Leahy. When everything commences, he'll face Kyle Schwarber, and it'll be a righty-lefty matchup. Jeff Coleman, let's go Cardinals. Here's that. So Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, and Bryce Harper are due up 1-2-3 here in the top of the first inning. And marching up to the lefty batter's box is none other than Kyle Schwarber. And stepping up to the bump is the right-hander Kyle Leahy. Stepping up to the microphone is yours truly. Leahy looking in there to Jimmy Crooks. He comes one. The very first pitch. Chop foul down the first base side, and we are underway. And the count is 0-1. Kyle Schwarber hitting .251 on the year. Jeff Coleman with the $1 super. Thank you so much, Jeff. I really appreciate it. Now the 0-1 offering. A slider up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Kyle Schwarber, .251, 35 home runs, 69 RBIs in 115 games, a .910 OPS. The 1-1. A curveball down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. Go St. Paul D. I've been canonized. Thank you, Jack. It's a 2-1 count. Now the 2-1 offering. There's a fly ball down the right field side and out of play on the four-seam fastball up and in. The count is even at 2-2 strikes. So I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me here on Wednesday afternoon for this Businessman special on Getaway Day here on Game Mike. It is the rubber match between these two clubs. Epic first couple of games. The 2-2 pitch. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty. And look at that. Ollie Marmol actually smiling and laughing. There's a thing. Now the 3-2. Called strike 3. Slider on the outside corner below the belt. For the first out of the inning. And yeah, it was either a slider or a sweeper on the outer third right there at the belt. Down looking goes Schwarber, gets the old backwards K. Major League Baseball's impression of Cyrillic for the first out. Now here's Trey Turner, righty-righty matchup, the first pitch. A four-seam fastball upstairs and out of the zone. 1-0. Trey Turner hitting .249, 17 home runs, 47 RBIs, a .698 OPS in 117 games this year. Leahy winds the 1-0 offering. A four-seam fastball. It's down Broadway but low and ruled a ball. The count is 2-0. He comes motion. The 2-0 to Turner. Swinging strike on the slider away, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Infield defense clearly shaded towards left with the righty Turner. Coming winds Leahy, the 2-1. A sweeper up and in, slightly getting out of the way of that one was Turner. The count is 3-1. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the first inning, no score. This is the rubber match. He winds and deals. Swinging strike on the sinker up and in. Swinging underneath that one was Turner, and the count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. Early whistle indeed, Thurman. There be many more indeed. Now the 3-2 offering. There's a fly ball out to right field. Underneath it is Jordan Walker. Comes in a step, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Now here comes the left-hand hitting Harper. Defensive alignment for the Cardinals. Fairmead in left, Church in center, Walker in right, Prieto at third, Wynn at short, Weatherald at second, Burleson at first. Jimmy Crooks is behind the dish and battery mate to Kyle Leahy, who's on the mound. Righty-lefty matchup. Strutting into the box is Harper. Leahy looks in to Crooks and winds. The first pitch to Harper. A changeup away, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Bryce Harper hitting .252 on the year. A solid offensive year for him overall. Infield defense heavily shifted towards right with the lefty Harper. The 1-0 pitch. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is 2-0. Bryce Harper, his career versus the Cardinals, 74 games in that time. He winds the 2-0 from Leahy. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway below the belt. The count is 2-1. 15 pitches so far here for Kyle. Nobody on, 2 out. Top of the first inning, no score here in the rubber match. He comes motion, the 2-1 to Harper. A curveball down and in and clear out of the zone. The count's 3-1. 74 games, 304, 13 home runs, 52 RBIs in his career against the Cardinals. He has a .972 OPS against St. Louis, the 3-1. Strike, slider down Broadway, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Bryce Harper. On deck is Luis Arias, the left-hand hitting second baseman. The lightest hitting cleanup hitter in the league. Now the 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3, four-seam fastball down and in, challenged immediately by Bryce Harper, so an ABS challenge incoming on the part of the Phillies. Let's see. See what we got here. Survey says for the final out of the inning, Bryce Harper goes down the observatory, takes the old backwards K. Major League Baseball's impression of Cyrillic for the third and final out of the inning. After 1/2 inning of play, it is the Philadelphia Phillies nothing and the St. Louis Cardinals coming to bat. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Scoreless going to the bottom of the first. Let's go to that chat. Okay. Right. Okie dokie. So, a 1-2-3 top of the first for Kyle Leahy. He looks sharp here in the early going. He's going to need to be going up against Zack Wheeler. All right, Jeff Coleman. Well, first off, once again, Jeff, thank you for the $1 super. It's really appreciated. You're very generous, and thank you for supporting my work. Russell Morrow, W. I really like the Go St. Paul D. Or Go Paul D. Oh, you can do Go St. Paul D. I think that's interesting. Whistle Times. Yes, Whistle Times. Minute Boy. Go Cards. Here's that. Alrighty, let's see here. DJ Nick Fly. Them whistles sound extra good at work, I tell ya. Well, thank you, DJ Nick Fly. I'm watching this in my tub. Glad we could keep you company for the experience. Russell Morrow, get hot cards like the weather. Very good. Jeremiah checking in from Rockford, Illinois. Cheers, Rockford, Illinois, to Jeremiah. Stepping into the box here is J.J. Weatherall. It'll be a righty-lefty matchup with the righty throwing Zack Wheeler, the 36-year-old. 20 starts this year, 10-3 with a 2.69 ERA, 28 walks against 132 strikeouts, a whip of 0.98. It's a righty-lefty matchup. In the box is Weatherall, the first pitch from Wheeler. A four-seam fastball away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Wheeler throws a four-seamer, a split finger, a sinker, sweeper, curve, and cutter. Now the 1-0 pitch. Strike, cutter on the inside quarter below the belt. The count is 1-1. Setting up way is Real Muto, the 1-1. Originally called a ball in the four-seam fastball on the outer third, knee high. The ABS challenge incoming by the Phillies. They're going to win this. Nothing but zone. It was an egregiously bad call, albeit in the favor of the Cardinals. So the ball is overturned. It's a strike, and the count is 1-2 to J.J. Weatherall. Looking in is Wheeler. He comes one, the 1-2. Check swing on the curveball, down and in. He went around, according to the home plate umpire, for the first out of the inning. So, can't check his swing, does Weatherall, and that's the first out. Here comes Ivan Herrera. Defensive alignment for the Phillies. Martian left, Crawford in center, Harper in right, Stott at third, Turner at short, Arias at second, Baum at first, Real Muto behind the dish, and battery mate to Zack Wheeler, who's on the mound. Zack Wheeler, originally drafted by the San Francisco Giants in the first round, 6 overall, got traded to the New York Mets, I believe, back in 2010 for Carlos Beltran at the deadline. The first pitch fouled down the first base side and out of play, and the count is 0-1. Herrera's hitting .249, 13 home runs, 50 RBIs this year. Now the 0-1 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and in, and the count is 1-1. It's a righty-righty matchup here between the righty tossing Wheeler and the righty hitting Herrera with that big old open stance, much like Tony Batista before him. Come in motion is Wheeler, the 1-1. A sinker down and in, it's ruled a ball, and the count should be 2 balls and 1 strike. Indeed it is. Nobody on with 1 out. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Having some interruptions in the feed of the game, but nothing that should hold us up. The 2-1 pitch. Hit foul on a check swing on the sinker in, and the count is even at 2-2. Seeing it here, yeah. Got him right there on the Louisville Slugger trademark. It's a 2-2 count. He comes motion. The 2-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3 on the curveball, down and away for the second out of the inning. So a couple of strikeouts swinging to get things started off here by Zack Wheeler. He is very impressive. He was a big thing prospect-wise coming up. all those years ago. Now here is Alec Burleson, righty-lefty matchup, nobody on with 2 out. The first pitch from Wheeler, hit foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count is 0-1. That was on a splitter, down and in. Alec Burleson, he has been on a real tear since the All-Star break. He has made his presence known, most notably in the Yankee series, but well beyond before that and after. Coming winds Wheeler, the 0-1. Swinging strike on the cutter in. Swinging over the top of that one was Burleson. The count is 0-2. Roger Bassman, the 0-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 1-2. Roger Bassman, Tucson checking in. Bomber Game Mike, professional correspondent reporting in from the surface of the sun. Now the 1-2. Swinging strike 3. Down Hackett goes Burleson for the third and final out of the inning. Wheeler strikes out the side here at the bottom of the first inning. So after one full inning of play, we are scoreless going to the top of the second inning between the Phillies and Cardinals here on Getaway, the Businessman Special, and the Rubber Match. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Scoreless going top of 2. All right. So both pitchers, at least in their first frames, respectively, look pretty dialed in. And right now, in the St. Louis area, not this is a real surprise in the middle of August, but right now it's 93 degrees. There is an extreme heat warning, and it's 57% humidity, which has been down recently. And there is a wind from west to east at about 10 miles an hour. So, welcome all aboard here on this Wednesday afternoon for the Rubber Match. It's good to see you all again. Skip Care, Paul D, what up? Not much, just calling this game. How are you, Skip Care? Jair Camera, can I ask why you're not showing your face? The face emotion helps. It's because I'm on the road. I'm not in studio right now. When I'm on the road, the regulars here know this. When I'm on the road, I can only do it audio only. And that's the accommodation that needs to be made in order to do that. But when I'm back in the studio, which should probably be either late this weekend or early this upcoming week, I'll be back on camera. No worries. Cool. Very good. Anthony D. Bichelle. Could be another low-scoring game. Go Cards. Very well may be. Now, here is Kyle Leahy. He's back out onto the bump. Here comes motion. The first pitch to Arias. A four-seam fastball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Arias is hitting .314. He's in the cleanup spot. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the second inning, no score. Here comes motion. The 1-0. Strike, slider on the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. That was the 20th pitch for Kyle Leahy. He picks up the rosin bag, and he's going to need to do that a lot today with how hot it's going to be out there. Now, the 1-1 pitch. Hit out there into left field, charging in his fair mean. Underneath it, he makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So, fly out to left by Luis Arias for the first out. Now, here comes the third baseman, Stott. More of that rosin there for Kyle Leahy. Nobody on, one out. Top of the second inning, no score. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch to Stott. Strike, slider on the inside corner above the knees. The count is 0-1. Stott's hitting .266 on the year. Leahy looks into crooks and winds and deals. Swinging strike on the sinker away. Swinging underneath that one was Stott. The count is 0-2. Now the 0-1 pitch. hit down the left field line and into the stands on the sweeper, and the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Well, I think Jair, a good choice might be the Diamondbacks, honestly. Now the 0-2 pitch. A changeup away ruled a ball. The count is 1-1. I feel like Arias every year has been hitting at least 300, 310. He's very consistent, Heather. There's no question about it. Now the 1-2 pitch. A curveball downstairs and clear out of the zone. The count is 2-2. That was the 26th pitch here for Leahy. Gets more of that rosin. We're going to be seeing a lot of that today from him. He winds and deals. Fouled straight back on the sinker upstairs. The count remains 2-2. So back under the bump is Leahy. Back in the box is Stott. It's a 2-2 count. Nobody on, 1 out. The 2-2 pitch. A 4-seam fastball upstairs, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Well, thank you, Jack. The 3-2. Fouled back on the slider upstairs. The count remains 3-2. Next pitch is Leahy's 30th. And pitch count is particularly important today, just given how oppressive the weather is in downtown St. Louis at the moment. They will be watching him closely, but he's pitched well in these kind of conditions before. The 3-2 offering, hit to the left side and into left field for a base hit, picked up by Faramine, so Stott picks himself up a 1-out single to left. So the Phils have a runner on first with 1 out top of the second inning, no score. Now here comes the left fielder, Brandon Marsh. He steps in with a runner on first and 1 out. Righty-lefty matchup. Marsh is hitting .274. Setting up away is Crooks. The first pitch to Marsh. A 4-seam fastball up and away. The count is 1-0. Runner leads off first, and the person who stopped from the stretch, the 1-0. Hit to the right side, picked up by Weather. Show second one on the first. In time, a 4-6-3 double play. But it looks like Don Mattingly wants the official review on that. At the very least, there will be 2 outs as they manage to get Stott with the force at second on the shove throw from Weatherholt to win. And they're retracting it back. So a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no walks, nobody left on. After 1.5 innings of play, it is scoreless going to the bottom of the second inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Scoreless going bottom of 2. Let's go back to the chat. Okay. So. All right. 4 plus 6 plus 3 equals 2. Very good, Elther. Thurman, don't understand why a right-handed pitcher have an advantage over a right-handed hitter. It's a good point, Thurman. So, in terms of, arm side, batter side matchups, they mean the most, especially when you have a pitcher that has some sort of eccentric motion or arm angle, right? Obviously, overall, lefties don't hit as well against lefties as they do righties, but when you're really leveraging the situation where you need a really important out, that arm side, batter side matchup matters a lot more when it looks like the left-hand hitter is throwing out of left field, like when he's brought in to face J.J. Weatherall or something like that. But otherwise, it's become kind of a mindless bit of orthodoxy from time to time. Cards Clips in the house. Let's go Cardinals. Good to have you back, Cards Clips. All right. But yeah, Jair Camera. I think the Diamondbacks would be a good call. All righty. So that's the story there. Due up for the Redbirds in the bottom of the second inning. Walker, Church, and Wynn, 4, 5, and 6 in their order. And they step into that box here against Zack Wheeler. No score, bottom of the second inning. Leahy and Wheeler so far have been showing themselves to clearly be locked in at this point. And that's not a surprise given the tenor of the matches up so far. The first pitch to Walker. Swinging strike on the cutter away. The count is 0-1. And that was just on the outside corners about thigh high, so he really wasn't chasing on that one. Nothing egregious as we've seen at times previously. The 0-1 pitch. A sinker down and in, ruled a ball. The count is 1-1. Palante is getting the honor of the in-duck-out mid-game interview. Hit to the right side and booted there by the first baseman. He throws over to first to Wheeler covering, not in time. So Walker reaches on perhaps what will be an E3. At the very least, it'll be an infield hit. In that particular case, over there at first, Alec Baum just booted a ground ball. He was playing back and right of first on a routine ground ball, but could not bring it in. So a runner on first with nobody out. So Jordan is standing on first. There we go. There we go. Now, stepping into the box is Nate Church. Righty-lefty matchup. He came in yesterday for a defensive replacement late. He's starting back today. Righty-lefty matchup. Runner leads the first pitch. Strike. Four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 0-1. This home plate umpire today has a very loose strike zone. Corners, high. He's calling them high. He's calling them low. Expect some ABS challenges. Setting up inside is Real Muto, the 0-1. There goes Jordan Walker. Here's the throw. Here's the play. And he is safe with the high throw from Real Muto. So a stolen base. His second in as many games by Jordan Walker. The pitch is a clear strike in this case. And the count is 0-2. So, yeah, Jordan Walker just going there. And that's something else you're seeing from the Cardinals. They're stealing more bases now. In the last couple of weeks. Here's the pitch. A curveball inside, and the count is 1-2. So a runner in scoring position, nobody out. Bottom of the second inning. All scoreless here. Back in the box is Nate Church hitting .238, 9 home runs, 37 RBIs in 101 games. The 1-2. Hit down the left field line, and it is fair, and it falls in, picked up out there by March. Scoring easily from second is Jordan Walker, and that will give the Cardinals a 1-0 lead on the RBI double to left by Nate Church. And the Cardinals have a runner on second once again with nobody out. They have themselves a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. Making sure there to try and jump over Zack Wheeler early, and the Cardinals built that run with the stolen base by Jordan Walker. Leading off second there is Nate Church. Here is Mason Wynn, the first pitch. A four-seam fastball on the inside corner at the knees. Ruled a ball, challenged by Real Muto, so ABS challenge incoming. The Phillies have one remaining. And it's indeed a strike. And it's nothing but zone. So a successful challenge there goes from a ball to a strike, and the count is 0-1. Mason Wynn hitting .245. It's a righty-righty matchup. Runner leads off first, one already in. And the pitch. A sinker up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-1 to Mason Wynn. Mason Wynn had a couple of big hits last night, but the biggest one came, of course, in the bottom of the seventh. The two-out RBI single to right, scoring Jordan Walker for the first run of that game. Come in set, the 1-1 from Wheeler. A splitter down and in and clear out of the zone. The count is 2-1. Infield defense slightly shaded towards left. Now the 2-1 pitch. Strike, sinker on the inside corner below the belt. And the count is even at 2-2 Next pitch is going to be Zack Wheeler's 25th of the afternoon in 1+ inning of work. Church leads off second, nobody out. 1-0 Cardinals, one already in. The 2-2. A curveball down and away and in the dirt, and the count is full. 3-2. No, Mason Wynn has been improving every aspect of his game. He's been smarter and more aggressive on the base pass. He's been hitting against the shift, which is to say he's taking what the infield is so clearly giving him and his usual Gold Glove defense. And he's clearly one of the leaders on this club. Runner leads off second. It's a 3-2 count. The 3-2 pitch. Called strike three. Four-seam fastball on the outer third at the knees for the first out of the inning. So Mason Wynn, after all the accolades I just finished giving him, goes down the observatory, gets the old backwards K for the first out. So there's a runner on second with one out. Bottom of the second, one already in for the Cardinals. They have an early 1-0 lead. Now here is Cesar Prieto, the left-hander, righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Wheeler. A cutter up and in and out of the zone. Counts 1-0. That overturned strike was not even close. Yeah, it was ridiculous out there. We're going to be seeing a lot of ABS today. No question. From the stretch is Wheeler setting up away as Real Muto, and he bluffs back down towards second to Church, who's taking less than a 0 lead. Oh, thank you for the reminder, Heather. I really appreciate that. Justin Beasley has been in charge of it now. I kind of get out of focus. Hit to the right side, picked up by Arias at second. He throws to first in time to get Prieto. Moving over to third on the play from second is Nate Church. So Prieto bounces out 4-3 for the second out. Now, here's Jose Fermin, 83 games, 243, 5 home runs, 27 RBIs. Runner on third with 2 out, bottom of the second inning, 1-0. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch to Fermin. Strike, sweeper on the outer third at the knees. The count is 0-1. Next pitch is Wheeler's 30th. Church leads off third. From the letters is Wheeler, the 0-1. A sinker downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. Jeff Coleman with the $1 super. Thank you again, Jeff. Rewarding results. Incentive-laden economics. The 1-1 pitch. Hit to the left side. Picked up there at third. He throws to first on a couple of hops. Gets Fermin going down the line for the final out of the inning. So, 1 run on 1 hit and 1 left on. After 2 full innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the third inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Voice is definitely feeling it right now. After last night, that was an exciting call. A.K.A. balling on a budget. Oh, I love that, Jeff. That's common in the game already. But once again, we're seeing both aggressive but equally smart, improved base running across the Cardinal lineup. And I got to tell you, it's good to see. Because there was a point earlier in the season where they were doing the same thing, had a lot of success with it. They almost got too overconfident and became over-aggressive and less smart. Then they were largely station to station for almost 2 months. And now they're back to that nice, productive balance between the two. So 1-0 Cardinals going top of 3. Due up for the Phillies is Real Muto, Baum, and Crawford. So 7, 8, 9 in the Philly order. Kyle Leahy will be coming out for his third frame. Doge Bowl. Hello, Paul and all. Go Birds. Good to see you, Doge. It's always good to see you. David Hodge, you need a drink. Yeah, that's why I just grabbed one, David. Got it nice in my hand here. But I'm going to have to pick my spots more and project from the diaphragm more. No question. All right, we're back here for the top of the third inning. 1-0 Cardinals, 7, 8, 9 in the Philly order due up. Kyle Leahy out there for his third frame, as they find a Cubs and Cardinal fan sitting out there in the left field bleachers randomly. She's wearing the powder blue. He is wearing the home pinstripe for the Cubs. They'll be there on Friday afternoon. Now here's the righty, Real Muto. The first pitch from Leahy. Strike, slider on the outer third, thigh high, and the count is 0-1. JT Real Muto hitting .222. Didn't start game one, but started last night, and he's back out for the day game after the night game. Comment one, the 0-1 from Leahy. Fouled straight back on the sweeper, down and away, and the count is 0-2. Another thing we're also seeing here from Kyle Leahy is we're getting more swings and misses on the breaking stuff. JT Real Muto, 222, 8 home runs, 38 RBIs, the 0-2. A four-seam fastball upstairs, 95 miles an hour out of the right hand of Leahy, and the count is 1-2. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the third inning, 1-0 Cardinals. Leahy comes one, the 1-2 pitch. Swinging strike three, down, hack and goes Real Muto on the changeup, down and in for the first out of the inning. Yep, that was an 89-mile-per-hour circle change down and in to the righty Real Muto. Excellent arm side action. Now here is the 8-hitter, Alec Baum, righty-righty matchup, the first pitch. Strike right down Broadway below the belt. The count is 0-1. No, he clearly has more confidence. Very assertive out there. Setting up away is Crooks, the 0-1. Strike, sinker on the outside corner above the knees. The count is 0-2. That sinker had excellent horizontal action. Broke out from away from the plate, then just got that outside corner. Just painting those corners. Now the 0-2 offering. Hit on up the middle and into center field for a one-out single off the bat of Alec Baum. And now the Phillies have a runner on first with one out. Here in the top of the third inning, it's a 1-0 Cardinal lead. Alan Hall, good afternoon, everyone. Let's go Cards. Good afternoon, Alan. Welcome back. Now, here's the lefty, Justin Crawford. Righty-lefty matchup from the stretch is Leahy. He sets at the Birds, the first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball, inner third, thigh high to Crawford. The count is 0-1. Justin Crawford in 111 games, hitting .264 with 2 home runs, 30 RBIs, a .665 OPS. Common sets Leahy at the Birds, the 0-1. Hit to the left side and into left field for a base hit. Hitting against the shift there was the lefty Crawford. And that puts runners on first and second with one out here at the top of the third inning for the Phillies. And now back to the top of the order with the lefty Kyle Schwarber. That was a changeup going down and away from the lefty Crawford. Just stuck his bat out there. Put it through the hole that even a sideways school bus could fit through with the shift. Now here is Schwarber. It's a righty-lefty matchup. 41 pitches so far for Leahy. Crawford leads off first. Baum leads off second. Shifted towards the right side, and time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jimmy Crooks. It was a pretty big hole, and I would say Blaze Jordan probably would have had a better shot at that than Prieto, admittedly, Heather. Coming set at the Birds, the first pitch to Schwarber. Strike, sweeper on the outer third, thigh high. The count is 0-1. So runners on first and second with one out. Top of the third inning, 1-0 Cardinals. It's a 0-1 count here to Kyle Schwarber, who's 0-for-1 himself. With the runners on, coming set is Leahy from the stretch, the 0-1. A changeup in the dirt, blocked very well there by Jimmy Crooks. The count is 1-1. Schwarber gets back into the saddle. Runners lead off first and second. From the stretch, setting at the birds is Leahy. Now the 1-1. Swinging strike of the four-seam fastball upstairs. Can't catch up with the cheddar from Leahy in the case of Schwarber, and the count is 1-2 strikes. So Schwarber in the hole here, 1-2. Kyle Leahy's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That led off this game. 250, 35 home runs, 69 RBIs. A real free agent land there by the Phillies after departing from the Cubs after last year. Runners lead off first and second with one out. Setting at the birds is Leahy. Now the 1-2. A sweeper down and in, nowhere near the zone. The count is 2-2. Schwarber, I don't care if you're Nolan Ryan, Schwarber is a tough at-bat. He's having an excellent year. Very much in his own. He does not make it easy for whoever's out on the bump. Runners lead off first and second. Now the 2-2. Called strike 3. Challenged immediately there by Schwarber, and I think he's going to win that ABS challenge. It was a slider on the outside corner around the belt, but I think it's going to be high. For the second out of the inning. Well, so that was the last ABS challenge available to the Phillies. They have none left in regulation. The Cardinals have both of theirs. I thought it was going to be overturned because it was high. Just clipped the zone. So runners on first and second with 2 out. Here's Trey Turner, who's 0 for 1. Righty-righty matchup. Now the first pitch from Leahy. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 0-1. Nice catch up there by a young man wearing one of those Nike City Connects for the Cardinals. It's an 0-1 count. Leahy, he sets at the birds. The 0-1 offering. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by Burleson. Tosses to Leahy covering. He beats Turner through the bag for the third and final out of the inning. No runs and 2 left on. After 2.5 innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the bottom of the third inning here on Getaway Day. The rubber match in this heavyweight battle of a series. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 1-0 Cardinals going bottom of 3. So Leahy in and out of trouble. Like I said, he's just throwing with a lot of confidence, a lot of purpose. You can see the game plan he and Crooks are going after. He's getting more swing and misses on the breaking pitches, especially that sweeper. And that's huge for him because when he's right, he's striking guys out. In his last outing, this past weekend against Colorado, no walks, 8 strikeouts over 5 innings. Now, due up for the Redbirds in the bottom of the third inning, we have Crooks, Weatherall, and Herrera, 9-1-2 in the Redbird order. Weatherall is 0 for 1, as is Herrera. Both of them struck out in their first at-bats. All right. Oh, I am, Heather. I am. Believe me, I have to stay well hydrated in this room because I have to turn off the air conditioning due to the ambient sound issues. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the third inning. Zack Wheeler, he's out there for his third frame. He's given up 1 run so far. That's the difference in this game. 1-0 Cardinals, bottom of 3. And our man, the left-hand hitting catcher, Jimmy Crooks, get his first plate appearance of the afternoon. And he is granted time by the home plate umpire. Takes a longing look at the barrel of his bat and steps into the saddle. Nobody on, nobody out, bottom of the third. 1-0 Cardinals, the first pitch from Wheeler. And there's a fly ball out into left field. Underneath it is Marsh, and they've lost it in the sun. Who has it? Where did it even go? And it was caught by the center fielder, Crawford, for the first out of the inning. The camera was as lost as Marsh was with that ball in the sun. They did not bother to pan over to Crawford, who came in at the last second there. So that'll be the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out. Jimmy Crooks flies out to center. Here's J.J. Weather 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Righty-lefty matchup. He shows bunt and bunts it foul down over towards the Philly dugout. The count is 0-1. Very strange camera work there on the part of Cardinals.tv. Setting up away is Real Muto. The 0-1 to Weatherall. A sweeper down and in. It is a ball. The count is 1-1. Next pitch is going to be Zack Wheeler's 35th on the afternoon. 1-0 Cardinals. He comes motion. The 1-1 offering. A splitter up and away ruled a ball. The count is 2-1. Weatherall hitting .244, 16 home runs, 45 RBIs in 114 games. As far as I'm concerned, he's NL Rookie of the Year. The 2-1. A splitter up and away ruled a ball. The count is 3-1. You can definitely tell, though, that both teams are laboring out there in this heat, especially the starters. Real Muto sets up away. Now the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, so a 1-out single there from 1-out walk there from J.J. Weatherall. The Cardinals have a runner on first with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Now here comes Ivan Herrera. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. With the runner on first, Zack Wheeler is going to be from the stretch. Herrera 0 for 1 with that strikeout. He's hitting .249, 13 home runs, 50 RBIs in 119 games. A 2026 NL All-Star. Setting up inside is Real Muto. Coming set is Wheeler. The first pitch to Herrera. Hit on up the middle. Picked up there at short by Turner. He tossed the second one. On to first. A double play. A 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. No runs. No hits. 1 walk. Nobody left on. After 3 full innings of play, it is 1-0 Cardinals going to the top of the 4th inning. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action this afternoon here on Game Mike, and you haven't done so already, please leave a like. It helps out the channel immensely, and I am very grateful for it. And if you're not already subscribed and you dig what you hear, and most of the time see, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, 1-0 Cardinals going top of 4. All right. ZZ Captain Mastiff. I'm doing all right. How are you, ZZ? ZZ Captain Mastiff is top. It'll be 1,000% worse of a robbery than all the All-Star he should have gotten if they didn't give him Rookie of the Year. It's interesting because he definitely got snubbed on the All-Star vote. It has everything to do with the fact the Cardinals are not getting the kind of national coverage that other teams are, or even the Cardinals in the past. But you know what? That's everybody else's oversight. Let the Cardinals keep surprising people. But I really do. I mean, he's right there with Sal Stewart, but the overall game for J.J. Weatherall in his rookie year has been outstanding. You forget that he's a rookie. That's about the highest compliment you can give. That's the compliment that you give to the one and only Rookie of the Year. Only 56 likes. We are behind tonight. Well, Thurman, everybody leave a like. If you're digging it, by all means, folks. All right, we're back here for the top of the 4th inning. Kyle Leahy is going to be out for his 4th frame. Due up for the Phillies here in the top of the 4th inning is going to be, I believe, is it Turner? Or is it Harper? Let's see here. It's going to be Harper. So Harper, Arias, and Stott, 3, 4, and 5 in the Philly order. Righty-lefty matchup here against Bryce Harper, who's 0 for 1. The first pitch from Leahy. A curveball up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Top of the fourth inning, Bryce Harper is 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Kyle Leahy in his first at-bat. Infield defense shaded very much towards right. Setting up away is Crooks, the 1-0. Foul tip on the slider up and in. The count is 1-1. That was the 50th pitch of the afternoon for Kyle Leahy. He looks into Crooks and winds the 1-1. Swinging strike on the changeup, down and away. Swinging over the top of that one was Bryce Harper. Another excellent circle curve with arm side action going down and away from the lefty from Kyle Leahy, and the count is 1-2. Now here's the pitch. A curveball down and in, and the count is 2-2. It really was, Helder. It really was. Especially beating Schwarber the way he did in front of his hometown crowd there. It was great. Now, the 2-2 pitch. Hit down the left field line, giving chase is Fermin, and it hits the base of the wall just fair out there in the corner, going in around first and into second with a leadoff stand-up double is Bryce Harper, and the Phillies have a runner on second, nobody out, here in the top of the fourth inning. Even Fermin thought that thing was going foul into the stands, and then it just froze in place, hit the base of the wall on the fly, maybe 3 feet to the right of the left field pole from the home plate perspective. Now here is Luis Arias, runner on second, nobody out. It's a righty-lefty matchup. From the Birds is Leahy, the first pitch to Arias. Hit foul down the first base side, now to play on the slider in. The count is 0-1. Arias is 0 for 1 this afternoon, with the flyout hitting .313, 5 home runs, 48 RBIs, 113 games. The 0-1 pitch. A four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 1-1. 55th pitch there for Leahy in 3+ innings of work. Infield defense clearly shaded on the right side with the lefty Arias. Runner leads off second. Now the 1-1 offering. There's a fly ball down the right field line, and it is fair, and it hops into the stands for the ground rule double. Scoring is Bryce Harper on the play, and we are all tied at 1 following the double to right, the ground rule double to right from Luis Arias. And we are all tied at 1. Yeah, that was a nice piece of hitting there by Arias, just almost steering it by sheer force of will just to the left of the chalk down the right field line. We're all tied at 1. Now here is the lefty Stott, who's 1 for 1. Runner leads off second, 1 already in. It's a 1-1 game. Here's the pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball, inner third, thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Oh yeah, Heather. They're a resilient team. They're very talented. It's what's made this such an incredible series so far. Each game a classic in their own right. Now the 0-1 pitch. Fouled back on the sweeper down Broadway, and the count is 0-2. Yeah, Harper's not as fleet of foot as he was in his younger days. So, 1 already in here for the Phillies. They've tied it up at 1 on the RBI ground rule double by Arias. From the Birds, the 0-2. Hit to the left side, picked up on base and went to his right. He throws to first just in time to get Stott flying down the line for the first out of the inning. Moving from second to third on the play is Arias. So that'll put a runner on third with 1 out here at the top of the fourth inning. It's a 1-1 game. Now here's the lefty hitting left fielder Brandon Marsh. 0 for 1, grounded out into a double play back in the second. Righty-lefty matchup, runner on third with 1 out. The first pitch to Marsh. Fouled back on the curveball in. The count is 0-1. That was the 60th pitch for Leahy in 3 1/3. Runner leads off third. It's an 0-1 count. Setting up away is Crooks, the 0-1. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and in to the lefty Marsh. The count is 0-2. And the score bug on Cardinals.tv is brought to you by Menards. Word on the street is you save big money. But I could be wrong. Now, from the Birds is Leahy, the 0-2 to Marsh. A changeup down and away, and the count is 1-2. Marsh gets back into the saddle. Arias leads off third with one out. It's a 1-2 count. Leahy sets. And the 1-2 pitch. Fouled back on the slider up and in. The count is 1-2 to Brandon Marsh. No relation to Randy or Stan. Marsh is back into the saddle. From the Birds is Leahy. Setting up away is Crooks. The 1-2. Called strike three. Change up on the outside corner, thigh high. For the second out of the inning. So Brandon Marsh goes down in the observatory, gets the old backwards K. Major League Baseball's impression of Cyrillic for the second out. Now here is JT Realmuto. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Runner on third with 2 out, 1 already in. It's a 1-1 game, top of the fourth inning. The first pitch from Leahy. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play. And the count is 0-1. That was a four-seam fastball. Realmuto, 221, 8 home runs, 38 RBIs in 88 games, a 645 OPS. He chokes up on the bat slightly. Now the 0-1 offering. Swinging strike on the sweeper upstairs. The count is 0-2. Leahy picks up the rosin. He has Realmuto in the hole here. Runner on third with 2 out, 1 already in. The Phillies tied it up at 1 on the RBI ground rule double by Arias, scoring Bryce Harper. He sets it, the Birds does Leahy. The 0-2. Chop foul down the third base side and out of play on the sweeper away. All right. Realmuto gets back into the saddle. Coming set at the Birds is Leahy. The 0-2. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the sinker away. The count remains 0-2. Leahy is sure pitching a lot of strikes. Sure is, Elder. Realmuto's back in the box. The 0-2. Foul tipped on the changeup down Broadway. Just got a piece of that, did Realmuto. And the count is 0-2. Ethan, the Cardinals scored first. This next pitch is going to be the 7th of the at-bat. They're definitely trying to work Leahy as much as possible here in this American Heartland heat. Setting up away is Crooks. The 0-2 pitch. Swinging strike three. Down flailing he goes. For the third and final out of the inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no walks, 1 left on. After 3.5 innings of play, we are all tied at 1 going to the bottom of the 4th inning here on Getaway Day. The rubber match down at Busch Stadium in downtown St. Louis on the mighty Mississippi. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. All tied at 1 going bottom of 4. All right. Well, Kyle Leahy gives up the run there, but he manages to strand Arias in scoring position. Initially, when Arias got into scoring position, it was after the RBI ground rule double. So he was in scoring position with nobody out. Kyle Leahy really bared down in that, dealing with the middle of that Philly lineup. Due up for the Redbirds in the bottom of the fourth inning is Burleson, Walker, and Church, 3, 4, and 5 in the Redbird order. And they will be facing Zack Wheeler, who's going to be going out there for his fourth frame. 3 innings pitched for him so far, 1 hit, 1 run, which is not earned, a walk, and 4 strikeouts. So Jordan Walker did reach on what was eventually scored an E3. All right. Wheeler has thrown 38 pitches so far. 23 of them have been strikes. So I'd like to thank you all so much for spending part of your Wednesday afternoon with me here on Game Mike. It's always a pleasure to spend game day with you. I could not be more fortunate or more grateful to have you joining me every game. We're back here for the bottom of the fourth inning. There's the old Big Macland sign that the camera's focusing in on. Wheeler out there, he's going out for his fourth frame. Both pitchers giving up a run each. Now here comes Alec Burleson, the burly first baseman for St. Louis, who below the neck is very much built like a Sasquatch. He is one big dude, and he hits the ball a very long way. But that's not the only weapon in his arsenal as a hitter. So Burleson gets into the saddle. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on, nobody out, bottom of the fourth inning, all tied at 1. Setting up away is Real Muto, the first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway below the belt. The count is 0-1. Coming one, the 0-1 pitch. Hit foul down the left field line, and the count is 0-2. It's an 0-2 count. He comes one, the 0-2. And it plunks him on his left ankle on a breaking ball down and in. He's slowly walking up towards first base. He doesn't look seriously injured by any means, but it could not have been comfortable. Cardinal trainer on the top step of the dugout giving him a look over as he walks by, but no one's going out to see him. Oh yeah, right there. It looks like on the top of the foot. Oh yeah, it got him. So a runner on first following the leadoff hit by pitch there by Alec Burleson. They have a runner on first with nobody out. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, all tied at 1. Here is Jordan Walker. He scored the 1 run for the Cardinals, sitting up inside his Real Muto. Runner leads off first, the first pitch. A sinker well inside, and the count is 1-0. Jordan Walker, 0 for 1. He reached on the error. Has a stolen base and the run scored, setting up inside his Real Muto. Now the 1-0. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play, and the count is 1-1. It's a 1-1 count. 43 pitches so far for Wheeler. He sets at the letters from the stretch. The 1-1 pitch. Hit to the left side. Picked up there at short by Turner. He throws to second one. On to first. Not in time. So they get the lead runner with the force at second. That erases Burleson. Jordan Walker reaches on the fielder's choice. And so now there's a runner on first with 1 out. Now here comes Nate Church. Nate is 1 for 1 with an RBI that scored Jordan Walker. It was a double. Runner on first, righty-lefty matchup. Now the first pitch. There's a fly ball out into shallow center field. Coming back is Arias, calling for, battling the sun, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. So I don't know if they'll score that a pop out or a fly out, but it was definitely in the air and it was caught in play for the second out of the inning. Now here comes the righty hitting shortstop for St. Louis, Mason Wynn. Mason is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Runner at first with 2 out. Bottom of the fourth inning, all tied at 1. Come in set, righty-righty matchup. Throwing over to first is Wheeler. Back in time with the head first slide is Walker. Come out in the living room. Now the pitch. Swinging strike of the four-seam fastball up and in. The count is 0-1. A very, very good rising fastball in the zone. Wynn gets back into the saddle. Runner leads off first as an 0-1 count. Now the 0-1. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball down Broadway, 95 miles an hour. The count is 0-2. Runner leads off first. The 0-2 pitch. A four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 1-2. He comes set, setting up inside is Real Muto, the 1-0. There's a fly ball out into left center field. Over to his left is Marsh. He's underneath it. Can of corn makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, a hit by pitch, and one left on. After 3.5 innings of play, we are all tied at 1 going to the bottom of the fourth inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. Getting a little help there, a little additional assistance with my voice. So, we're going to the, excuse me. My apologies, folks. We're going to the top of the fifth inning. We are all tied at 1. You know, when you call so many games, every once in a while the voice, you know, it can get a bit strained. That and any time I'm on the road, I don't usually rest nearly as well as when I'm at home in my beloved abode, sleeping next to my beautiful wife. You just don't get that kind of quality rest. That and the cats, too. You know, I rest very well with the cats in the audience, no doubt. Thank you so much. So we await the top of the fifth inning. Due up for the Phillies in the top of the fifth inning with Kyle Leahy coming out for his fifth frame is Baum, Crawford, and Schwarber. 8, 9, and 1 in Philadelphia's order. And a lovely establishing shot of Grant's farm there in the Cardinal broadcast. Righty-righty matchup, the very first pitch. Fouled back on the slider away. The count is 0-1 to Alec Baum. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the fifth inning, all tied at 1. Now the 0-1 from Leahy. A sinker well up and in there to Baum. That thing was easily 6 inches away from his noodle. He managed to get out of the way, and the count is 1-1. Making sure to get some lozenges there as addition to some salt water to gargle definitely helps the voice. Ooh, that was very close to Baum's head. Nobody likes seeing that. Unless it's Bob Gibson or Nolan Ryan. Roger Clemens did it well, too. He comes wide, the 1-1 pitch. A four-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 2-1. Baum is back into the saddle. It's a 2-1 count. Sending it away is Crooks, the 2-1. Hit to the left side, and it goes just foul. Good. Thank you. And the count remains 2-2. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the fifth, all tied at 1. The 2-2. A changeup away, ruled a ball. The count is 3-2. Baum is back into the saddle. Back onto the bump is Leahy. He comes motion. The 3-2 pitch. Fouled straight back on the slider inside. The count remains 3-2. Alrighty. Yeah, definitely Grant's Farm. They got cameras down there today for establishing shots. Really great. Now the 3-2 from Leahy. Hit out there into right field and in for a base hit. Playing it on a hop is Jordan Walker, so Alec Baum has himself a leadoff single to right. And the Phillies are in business here in the top of the fifth inning with a runner on first, nobody out. That was a 77th pitch for Kyle Leahy. Now here's the 9-hitter, the center fielder, the left-handed Justin Crawford. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Really looks so much like his dad. I know I can't say that enough, but it's because it's so true. Baum leads off first. Cummins sets Leahy. The first pitch to Crawford. Hit to the right side. Picked up by Weather on a hop to his left. He throws to first in time for the first out of the inning. He didn't have a chance to pick it up and throw it down towards second to get Baum. Baum was off on the way. It was hit too slowly, and then J.J. Weather had to go about 7 or 8 feet to his left. So a runner on second with 1 out. Top of the fifth inning, all tied at 1. Now Leahy sets the first pitch to Kyle Schwarber. Hit to the right side. Picked up on the ground there by Weatherall. He throws to first in time for the second out of the inning. Kyle Schwarber grounds out 4-3. Moving from second to third on the play is Alec Baum. So now the Phillies have a runner on third with 2 out. And here comes Trey Turner, the right-hand hitting shortstop. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. Next pitch is Kyle Leahy's 80th. Here in 4 2/3 innings of work. He sets at the Birds. The first pitch to Turner. Strike, sweeper on the outer third thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Well, I really appreciate Heather. That means a lot to me. I do put up everything I can into this. I want to make it the best experience possible. Leahy sets at the Birds. Now the 0-1. There's a fly ball out to left field. Going over to his right is Fairmean. Camped underneath it, Canacord makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. No runs and 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the fifth inning, all tied at 1 here on Getaway Day, the businessman special down at Busch Stadium on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mic. All tied at 1, going bottom of 5. Yeah. Just a lot of voice maintenance. Alrighty. Well done, Cards, indeed. Schwarber isn't going to have a field day with Leahy on the mound. I sure hope so, Jord. Good to see you. So due up for the Redbirds in the bottom of the fifth inning. we have Prieto, Fermin, and Crooks. So 7, 8, 9 in the Redbird order. They will be going up there against Zack Wheeler, who'll be out there for his 5th frame. So far, he has 4 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 run, which is not earned, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Both he and Leahy have very much been on their games today. In the case of Wheeler, Wheeler has thrown 49 pitches and 31 of them have been strikes. Leahy has thrown 81 pitches and 57 of them have been strikes. So they are right there, one against the other, going to the bottom of the 5th inning, which we are waiting to get rolling here. Well, thank you, Jord. No, gargling some salt water actually does help clear things up a bit. Now, here is Cesar Prieto. It's a righty-lefty matchup. We are all tied at 1, bottom of 5. The first pitch from Wheeler. A 4-seam fastball up and in. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Prieto is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Wheeler comes 1, the 1-0 pitch. A splitter downstairs ruled a ball. The count is 2-0. Oh, you're very, very welcome. Laugh about it. Now the 2-0 pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball down Broadway below the belt. The count is 2-1. Had Prieto challenged that, as the Cardinals have both of their ABS challenges, the Phillies have none of theirs, he probably would have won. Now the 2-1 offering. Hit foul down the third base side and out of play on the cutter, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. All tied at 1 here, another pitcher's duel, picking up right where they left off last night. 53 pitches here for Wheeler. He sets up on the extreme first base side of the rubber. Time is resumed as he looks into Real Muto, who sets up away from the lefty Prieto. Now the 2-2 offering. Hit to the right side and into right field, just over the glove of the leaping Arias into right field. So a leadoff single to right off the bat of Cesar Prieto. And the Cardinals are in business here with a runner on first, nobody out. And that would seem to be Prieto, if I'm looking at this correctly. They're preserving that ball for posterity. I think that's his first major league hit. At the very least, his first one with the Cardinals. And yeah, he definitely had some celebration there. Just got over that that jump from Arias. So now here's Jose Fermin, righty-righty matchup, the pitch. Strike, 4-seam fastball down Broadway, and the count is 0-1. I think it is, Anthony. They're focusing in on that ball with the camera again and again, so I'm going to have to say yes. Jose Fermin is 0 for 1. 55 pitches here for Wheeler. We're all tied at 1, bottom of 5 here in Getaway Day, the rubber match. He comes set at the letters. Now the 0-1. A sinker well inside. The count is 1-1. Thank you so much. I just got lovingly served some warm tea, and I could not be more thankful. Nice herbal tea with some honey definitely helps the voice. Come in set is Wheeler. Runner leads off first, the 1-1. Strike, 4-seam fastball down Broadway. The count is 1-2. Zack Wheeler has certainly been attacking the zone. He's not afraid of the Cardinal bats or any other bat in baseball, especially given his numbers. A wily veteran. Setting up away is Real Muto, the 1-2. Hit down into right field. Coming in is the right fielder, Harper. He makes a basket catch on the run near the line for the first out of the inning. Cesar Prieto getting back to first in time. So a bloop out to right off the bat of Jose Fermin for the first out. Now here's the 9-hitter, the rookie lefty hitting catcher, Jimmy Crooks. Jimmy is 0 for 1, and it's a righty-lefty matchup. From the stretch is Wheeler. Runner leads off first. The first pitch. Strike. Cutter on the inside corner at the knees to Jimmy Crooks. The count is 0-1. Infield defense very much shaded towards right. Next pitch is going to be Zack Wheeler's 60th of the afternoon. He comes set of the letters and deals a four-seam fastball inside. The count is 1-1. Thank you so much. I got it. Don't worry. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now he comes set. The 1-1 pitch. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 1-2 to Jimmy Crooks. I listened to the Cardinals broadcast for 1 year, 1968, with Harry Carey. Until now, that's all of the Cardinals broadcast I heard. Now I have Paul D. I can listen to. Better late than never. I'm glad you enjoyed that much, ZZ Captain, Mastiff Top. He sets the 1-2 from Wheeler. A curveball bounced out in front of home plate, blocked very well there by Real Muto. Staying right there at first is Prieto, and the count is 2-2. A grand average of 0.36. Yeah, I guess he has to start somewhere, Heather. Better late than never. Prieto leads off first. Looking in is Wheeler. Real Muto sets up away. He sets at the letters. The 2-2 offering. A splitter away, ruled a ball. The count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We are all tied at 1. And I guess none of us should be terribly surprised by this fact. This has been a very competitive series. So much fun to watch, so much fun to call for all of you. Back into the saddle is Jimmy Crooks. Prieto leads off first. Infield defense shifted towards right. He sets, does Wheeler, the 3-2. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball on the inner third thigh high, and the count remains 3-2. Oh, we have a great team this year, absolutely. No, when I was saying better late than never, I was talking about Heather mentioning the average for Prieto. The 3-2 pitch. Hit down the left field line on the curveball away. The count remains 3-2. That's what I was talking about. I wasn't referring to what you were saying, Captain Massive. I can understand the potential misunderstanding there, but no, that was not. That didn't have to do with you. I'm very complimented. ZZ Captain Mastiff Top. Long at bat here for Jimmy Crooks. I believe this is going to be his 9th pitch. Coming sets Wheeler. Now the 3-2. Swinging strike 3 on the cutter, down and away. Hacking over the top of that one was Jimmy Crooks for the second out of the inning. So Wheeler ends up prevailing there, getting the strikeout. That was his 66th pitch. So now we have Prieto on first with 2 out. Now back to the top of the order with J.J. Weatherall. J.J. is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Come in, set, the first pitch from Wheeler. Swinging strike on the splitter, down and away, and the count is 0-1. That was a nasty splitter. Until it's about 10 feet in front of the plate, tops, it looks like a fastball, then it just drops off the table to the left-hand hitter away. Cummins sets Wheeler, runner leads. Now the 0-1. A cutter inside, ruled a ball. The count is 1-1. Yeah, he has a 16.5% walk rate post All-Star break. He was 9.9% his Weatherall prior to the break. The 1-1. A four-seam fastball well inside, and the count is 2 balls and 1 strike. It's very true, Heather. Infield defense heavily shifted towards right with the lefty Weatherall. Setting up away is Real Muto. The 2-1 from Wheeler. Hit to the right side and pass bomb into right field for a base hit. Picking it up out there is Harper. Moving from first to third on the single to right is Prieto. And now the Cardinals have runners at the corners with 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And here comes Ivan Herrera. Very impressive there. That ball had eyes. That is by definition a seeing eye single there. It gets past him at first. Arias has no chance after that. Next thing you know, it's rolling into the glove of Bryce Harper. Runners at the corners with 2 out. So, J.J. Wetherall's now 1 for 2 this afternoon, and we have ourselves a mound visit. The Philly pitching coach out there with Zack Wheeler, and essentially the rest of the infield. It may just be an opportunity to break things up a little bit for Wheeler here. He has thrown 70 pitches here so far through 4 2/3 innings of work. We're all tied at 1, bottom of the 5th, here in the rubber match on Getaway Day, the businessman special. The Cardinals are off tomorrow, but they'll be back on Friday afternoon on the north side of Chicago against the Cubs for the first of 3 in the weekend set. And I'll certainly be there for that. And so the powwow is broken up. Kevin Hawthorne, good afternoon from Lakeland, Florida. Cheers, Kevin, and Lakeland, Florida. Now, here is Ivan Herrera. It's a righty-righty matchup. Big old open stance for Herrera. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Cummins sets Wheeler from the stretch. The first pitch to Herrera. Swinging strike on the sinker, down and in. Swinging through that one was Herrera. The count is 0-1. The infield defense is playing back. Slightly shaded towards left with the exception of the first baseman, who's holding on Wetherall at first. Cummins sets Wheeler. He deals. A four-seam fastball upstairs. The count is 1-1. Real Muto is frustrated on that call, mostly because that high strike has been getting called all afternoon, and just right there, it was a ball. The first correct one in that area for the most part today. Now, Wheeler setting up inside Real Muto. The 1-1. A sinker down and in, laying off it this time is Herrera. The count is 2-1. We are all tied at 1 in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runners on the corners, 2 out. Cummins setting up inside Real Muto. The 2-1 Herrera. A sinker inside. It is ruled a ball, and the count is 3 balls and 1 strike. Next one's going to be the 75th for Wheeler. Now the 3-1 offering. Strike, sweeper down Broadway at the knees. The count is 3 balls and 2 strikes. So with the full count and 2 out here, both of the runners are going to be going. So anything that is either a hit or an error, Prieto would certainly score from third. Wheeler comes set at the letters. The pitch. Hit out there into right field and in for a base hit. Scoring easily from third is Prieto, and that'll be a 2-out RBI single to center off the bat of Ivan Herrera, and the Cardinals take a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They still have runners on the corners with 2 out. Ivan Herrera, looks like it was a cutter. It was on the outer third, about thigh high, and he basically planted it out there to right center field. It was picked up by Justin Crawford. Scoring easily from third is Prieto, so a 2-out RBI single to right center by Herrera. And the Cardinals, they have a 2-1 lead. Now here is Alec Burleson, righty-lefty matchup from the stretch. The first pitch from Wheeler. Shot foul down the first base side and out of play on the splitter away. The count is 0-1. Gotta watch the language in the chat, folks. Keep it family friendly. The 0-1. A splitter down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-1. A strikeout swinging and a hit by pitch for Alec Burleson. And the $1 super from Jeff Coleman. It's all given up for Jeff. Thank you all so much. And thank you specifically, Jeff. The 1-1. There's a fly ball into right center field. And it falls in and goes all the way to the wall. Scoring easily from third is Herrera. Coming around third, coming home is Wetherall. And that'll be a 2-out RBI double off the bat of Alec Burleson, and the Cardinals take a 4-1 lead. The outfield was playing him towards left. That included Justin Crawford in center. That appeared to be, at least as far as I can tell, a slider that just stayed up out over the plate. And he plunked it. It landed right before the lip of the warning track, hit up against the Bank of America sign out there. And that's a 2-out RBI double. Hit to the left side and into left field off the bat of Jordan Walker. Coming home, coming around scoring is Alec Burleson. And that'll be an RBI 2-out double off the bat of Jordan Walker. And the Cardinals take a 5-1 lead. Oh boy. That was something right there, folks. That was something right there. 5 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning for this Redbird lineup. They're starting to lay it on there to Zack Wheeler, who has thrown his 80th pitch. Now here is Nate Church. It's a righty-lefty matchup. Runner leads off second with 2 out. 4 already in. The first pitch. Fouled straight back on the cutter upstairs. The count is 0-1. Yeah, they are very satisfying, Anthony. Setting up away is Real Muto. The 0-1 to Church. Hit foul down the third base side, now to play, and the count is 0-2. Once again, Jeff, thank you so much for the $1 super chat earlier. It's very much appreciated. Infield defense heavily shifted towards right with the lefty Church, who's 1 for 2. Coming set from the stretch is Wheeler, the 0-2 pitch. A curveball down and in the dirt, blocked very well there by Real Muto. The count is 1-2. No doubt Nate Church very much wants to get Jordan Walker in there from second. Indeed, he's 1 for 2 with an RBI. He's the first run in this game. Now, the 1-2 pitch. There's a fly ball out to right field. Coming in a few steps is Harper underneath a can of corn. Makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. But not before the Redbirds put up a 4 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning. And we go to the top of the 6th. It's a 5-1 Cardinal lead. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my call of Redbird action here on Game Mic this afternoon, you haven't done so already, but you feel I've earned it, please do leave a like. It helps out this channel a ton, helps it continue to grow, makes sure that the algorithm pushes this out to more Cardinal fans who are having so much trouble following this team every day. And in addition to that, I am eternally grateful for it. And if you like what you hear and most of the time see and hear, and you're not already subscribed and you're digging it, hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, me here, you there, and this is Bombers Game Mic. 5-1 Cardinals going top of 6. And Jeff Coleman with the $5 super. You're too generous, Jeff. You really are. I thank you so much for supporting my work and the effort here. And you are, even super chats aside, you are so clearly part of our first citizens here on Game Mic. You were an early adopter. One of the cornerstones in our community. So, we await the top of the 6th inning. Kyle Leahy will most certainly be coming out for his 6th frame of work. 5-1 Cardinals after the 4 spot in the bottom of the 5th inning off of Zack Wheeler. Zack Wheeler in his last start against Toronto, I believe gave up 4 earned runs, which was one of the lesser starts he's had all year. I mean, he's really been fantastic. So he's been trying to bounce back from that, but certainly not doing so here. Kyle Leahy, 5 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 run earned, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Now, are they giving us the highlight reel because they've taken him out? Let's find out. Indeed, they have. So, Ali Marmol going to the pen. He's bringing in the lefty, Justin Brule. The 29-year-old left-hander, 53 games, a 0-0 record, a 3.39 ERA, and 58 1/3 innings pitched. 41 strikeouts in that span, a whip of 1.34. Now here is Bryce Harper. It'll be a lefty-lefty matchup with the lefty Brule out on the bump. He is in relief of Leahy. Setting up inside is Crooks. The first pitch to Harper. A sinker away, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Gave you the numbers on Brule just a moment ago. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 6th, 5-1 Redbirds. The 1-0 from Brule. A sweeper away, ruled a ball. The count is 2-0. Killer Fam AZ with a $2 super newbie here. Great work while injured, Mr. Paul. Well, thank you, Kilmer Fam AZ, the 2-0. A sinker inside and out of the zone. The count is 3-0. Well, the first thing I'll say, outside of thank you very much for the $2 super chat, is welcome aboard, Kilmer Fam. Setting up away is Crooks. The 3-0 to Harper. Ball 4 on the sinker low. So Bryce Harper works a leadoff walk here for the Phillies at the top of the 6th inning. They have a runner on first, nobody out. It's a 5-1 Redbird lead. Cat Snow. Good to see you, Cat. Hey, everybody, let's go Cards. Looking good today, no doubt. Now, lefty-lefty matchup. Here's Arias in the first pitch. A sinker inside, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Justin Brule's having a little initial trouble with the strike zone. I understand why he was being careful there with Bryce Harper. Anybody with gray matter between their ears should be. But here's Arias leading off first to the runner, the 1-0. A sinker inside, ruled a ball. 90 miles an hour. The count is 2-0. So that's been 6 straight out of the zone there for Justin Brule, who otherwise has really carved out a very nice role for this team. The other major lefty in the pen for the Cardinals, Caleb Ferguson, they picked up from the Reds at the deadline for $250,000 in international signing pool money. Pitched last night, and he ended up loading up the bases with nobody out. And, of course, that was the big inning where Ryan Stanek got called in with the bases loaded, nobody out. Got out of it unscathed. First 2 outs on the second pitch with a 3-1-3 double play. And then the long fly out to the wall in right center field brought in by Nate Church off the bat of JT Realmuto. It's a 2-0 count. Arias, he's 1 for 2. Runner leads off first. Coming set is Brule. Now the 2-0 pitch. Strike, sinker down Broadway. The count is 2-1. You know, I'm curious, everybody, insofar as you've watched and paid attention, what have your evolving thoughts been on the career of Bryce Harper? Now the 2-1. Hit to the left side. Picked up on a short hop by Mason Wynn. He steps on second one. On to first. A double play. A 6-3 double play for the first and second outs of the inning. Luis Arias hit it just to the left of second. Mason Wynn managed to pull it in on a very sharp, short hop. Took it and stepped on second himself. Threw over to first with that cannon of his to get Arias going down the line for the 6-3 double play. Very, very good defense there. Now here's a lefty stop. Lefty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Brule. A sinker strike right down Broadway. The count is 0-1. 5-1 Cardinals here in the top of the 6th inning. Had a big big bottom of the 5th. The 0-1. A sweeper inside. Getting out of the way of that one was stopped. The count is 1-1. 4 plus 6 plus 3 equals 2. Love it, Heather. Coming sets Brule. Now the 1-1 pitch. It's squibbed out there toward third. Picked up there by Prieto. He throws to first in time to get Stott for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, a walk, nobody left on. After 5.5 innings of play, it is 5-1 Cardinals going to the bottom of the 6th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. 5-1 Cardinals going bottom of 6. Let's go back to the chat. All right. Let's get ourselves set up here. Very, very good. All right. Jordan Polo. Taken 2 is Cards routine. Let's go. Yeah, they have turned, I think, at least 5 or 6 double plays. I think it may actually maybe like 6 or 7 between today's game and last night alone, which is saying a lot. I mean, it's a combination of good fortune, right? Because you have to be in that position to do it, and then you have to induce it. But when they are confronted with it, they've been turning it masterfully. A great deal of the time between Weatherall and Mason Wynn, the most of the time. But whoever is down there manning third, Blaze Jordan last night, Prieto today, they've been doing their job. And then, of course, you have Alec Burleson, who's anchoring the infield defensively there at first. It's really a wonderful thing. Yeah, no, I got that water break, Heather. No worries. So I'd like to thank you all so much for spending your Wednesday afternoon here with me and the rest of us here on Game Mic. I will say this. There are times when I get behind the mic. It may even be a good game, but I'm low energy. I'm having a little trouble focusing. You know, the kind of things we all do anytime before we're sitting down to do something important. And I get here and I look into the chat. And whether you realize it or not, you guys give me a boost on so many occasions in ways that I have very little ability to either qualify or quantify. All I know is that it's very real, it's very strong. So an off day tomorrow, we'll be back here for the 1:20 p.m. Central start time at Wrigley Field on Friday afternoon, and I'll be live here at 1:10 p.m. Central time on Game Mic for the play-by-play live stream. That's the first of 3. All of them are day games this afternoon. Now here's the lefty Brooks Raley, 44 and a third with a 2.23. The first pitch to Mason Wynn. Strike, 4-seam fastball down and in. The count is 0-1. 5-1 Cardinals here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Nobody on, nobody out. Now the 0-1. A cutter well inside, and the count is 1-1. And so in my mentioning that, all I can simply say is thank you, because I really do appreciate it, and it helps so much. The 1-1. Swinging strike on the cutter upstairs, and the count is 1-2 to Mason Wynn, who's now in the hole here to Raley. Now the 1-2. A changeup away actually floats over the lefty batter's box. The count is 2-2. Jeremiah, you will always deserve my like, Paul D. Well, thank you, Jeremiah. Sitting up away is Real Muto, the 2-2. Swinging strike 3 on the changeup away is Mason Wynn for the first out of the inning. So Mason Wynn goes down hacking. Now here is Blaze Jordan. He's going to pinch hit here for Cesar Prieto. So it'll be a lefty-righty matchup. The Rook Blaze Jordan hitting .250 this year. Nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the 6th inning. 5-1 Redbirds, the first pitch. Strike, sweeper on the inside quarter thigh high, and the count is 0-1. Raley wants, he deals. Just getting a piece of that cutter in is Blaze Jordan, and the count is 0-2. Blaze Jordan hitting .250 with a homer, 22 RBIs in 44 games. That one homer, I believe, came in his second start of the year, the second game after he was called up. Setting up away is Real Muto, the 0-2 pitch. There's a fly ball into center field. Charging in is Crawford. He slides and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. A nifty feet-first slide, catch in center by Justin Crawford. Once again, a true chip off the old block when it comes to his old man Carl. And that'll be the second out of the inning. Now here's Jose Fermin. It'll be a lefty-righty matchup here against the lefty Raley. Nobody on with 2 out, bottom of the 6th inning, 5-1 Cardinals. Fermin is 0 for 2, the first pitch. Strike, sinker on the outer third below the belt. The count is 0-1. Oh, well, thank you, Ultra Cool. Now, the 0-1 pitch. Strike, sweeper on the outside corner, painting the black, and the count is 0-2. Well, the one thing I will mention, though, Ultra Cool, is that Phil Rizzuto certainly had a higher pitch voice than I do, but I do take the compliment well. The 0-2 pitch. A sweeper away floats over the lefty batter's box. The count is 1-2. 11 pitches so far here for Raley. Raley winds. The 1-2 to Farameen. A changeup away. Check swing. Holding it is Farameen. The count is even at 2-2. Farameen's back into the box. Raley looks in. Setting up inside's Real Muto. Now the 2-2 offering. Swinging strike 3. And down hacking goes Farameen on the cutter up for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 6 full innings of play, it is 5-1 Redbirds going to the top of the 7th inning. Here on Getaway Day, the Businessman Special and the Rubber Match in what has been, to this point, a classic series in its own right. Not bad for the middle of August. And with that said, 5-1 Cardinals going to the top of the 7th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right. Now, due up for the Phillies in the top of the 7th inning, I believe it is going to be Marsh, Real Muto, and Baum, but I'll confirm that with you in a moment. So how is everybody this afternoon? Game aside, all together, how are you enjoying the middle of your week? How's this Wednesday afternoon treating you? Harold Houseman. Oh, Harold, I didn't see you there. It's good to see you. Clay Healy is back into the chat. Surreal Teal. What's your favorite baseball movie? I have to go with Angels in the Outfield. Thanks for the stream. You got it, Surreal Teal. Oh, Major League. 100% Major League. Because not only is it a great baseball movie, but it is a spot-on comedy. It's just so sharply written. The performances and the cast are incredible. And that's not even mentioning Bob Uecker, you know? It's just an incredible film. Now, Major League 2, not so great. Major League 3, back to the minors, is almost kind of embarrassing. But the first one, Willie Mays Hayes. All right, we're back here for the top of the 7th inning. Marsh, Real Muto. In fact, Marsh is being pinch hit for here by the 29-year-old right-hand hitter, Brian De La Cruz. 26 at-bats, hitting .346 with 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, a 10-21 lefty-righty matchup. The first pitch from Brule, fouled back on the sinker away, and the count is 0-1. So Brandon Marsh, he's being pitch hit here for De La Cruz, not Ellie in Cincinnati. No. Setting up away is Crooks, the 0-1 from Brule. Hit foul down the first base side and out of play on the sinker away, and the count is 0-2. Sandlot, because we all done it. Yeah, I mean, if you're a kid, and Sandlot, and, you know, you played baseball as a kid, a lot of it, you know, some of it Little League, but some of it just kind of informally. There's so many elements of the Sandlot that really just ring true that are kind of universal experiences playing baseball as a kid, especially with your friends. Now, he sets the 0-2 pitch. A sweeper downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Oh, another Angels in the outfield. Interesting. If you build it, they will come. Yeah. Another classic, Field of Dreams. Now, the 1-2 pitch. A changeup away and out of the zone. The count is 2-2. DJ Nick Fly checking back in. Holy cow, 5-2-1. Let's go. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 7th inning, 5-1 Redbirds. It's a 2-2 count. And Brule deals. There's a fly ball out into right field. Giving chases Jordan Walker. And he makes a head-first sliding grab for the first out of the inning. Oh, he slid on his belly. He went and leapt head forward, caught it on the line right in front of the warning track, and then went sliding on his belly, fully pronated for the first out of the inning. Jordan Walker showing off those wheels and that leather for the first out. A wonderful play. Final season or perfect game. All right, Roger. And Marmol is going to the pen. He is going to the right-hander, Gordon Graceffo, who will face JT Realmuto. So we have ourselves a pitching change. Nobody on with one out, top of the seventh inning, 5-1 Cardinals. Ollie has gone to the pen. You know, one of the most underrated elements of Jordan Walker's game, unquestionably, is his defense. We know all about his arm. Well, yes, I think most of us do. And how it's very strong and very accurate. And most teams in the league on most plays where his arm comes into the equation very seldom try and challenge it, especially if it's even money. But right there, you saw him take an excellent route to the ball, going back to his right, using those wheels, especially coming off of right knee inflammation as recently as last week, and then managing to bring it in. And I can tell you, not every right fielder in the game was going to make the play that Jordan Walker just did. And obviously, offense gets the eyeballs, but right there, that was just all around baseball smarts, first class baseball smarts, and first class baseball gifts. Now here is Gordon Graceffo. In 58 innings pitched, he has a 3.26 ERA, a 1.12 whip in 47 games. He will face the right-hand hitting catcher JT Realmuto. It's a righty-righty matchup. Coming sets Graceffo, the first pitch. Swinging strike on the four-seam fastball up and away, and the count is 0-1. Bull Durham, Mr. Baseball. Good choices, Dennis. He sets at the Birds, the 0-1. A slider just misses the outside corner, and the count is 1-1. Kokoda, I'm back. Holy moly, awesomeness to my eyes. 5-1. Woohoo! Indeed, Kokoda. Setting up inside is Crooks. The 1-1 from Graceffo. Fouled straight back on the four-seam fastball in. The count is 1-2. So 5-1 Cardinals here in the top of the seventh inning. Nobody on with one out. JT Realmuto is in the box. Gordon Graceffo in relief of Justin Brule, who came in relief of Leahy. Now, the 1-2 pitch. A changeup down and in and out of the zone. The count is even at 2-2. Big fan of the Natural as well. I really like the Natural. I mean, it's a straight melodrama. The story's not complicated, but it's exceptionally well executed. Robert Redford, may he rest in peace, did a fantastic job in that role. Now, he sets at the Birds. Graceffo deals. Hit to the right side. Picked up there by Weatherall to the right of second. He throws to first in time to get Realmuto going down the line. So Realmuto grounds out 4-3 for the second out here in the top of the seventh inning. Yeah, pickup games with neighbors is exactly it, Russell Morrow. A lot of my childhood was that. I wouldn't give it away for anything. Now, here's the right-handed first baseman, Alec Baum. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch from Graceffo. A sinker down and in, ruled a ball. The count is 1-0. Well, thank you so much, Talons37. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Welcome back, and thank you for the kind words. Now, the 1-0 from Graceffo. Strike, four-seam fastball down Broadway, just below the knees. Baum most certainly would have challenged that had Philadelphia had any ABS challenges remaining. The Cardinals still have both of theirs in regulation. Infield defense playing back and slightly shaded towards left. Now the 1-1 pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball outer third at the knees. The count is 1-2. No, Talons, I really appreciate it. I'm glad you subbed. welcome aboard. Now, Cummins set at the bird, setting up waves. Crooks, the 1-2. A curveball down and in, and the count is 2-2. It's a 2-2 count with nobody on, 2 out. Top of the 7th inning, 5-1 Redbirds. Now the 2-2 pitch. A slider down and away, and actually ended up bouncing off of the right foot of Jimmy Crooks and then straight over across his body in the direction of the Philly dugout. And the count is 3-2. No harm, no foul there. There's nobody on. Cristopher sets at the birds. He deals. Foul back on the four-seam fastball up and in. The count remains 3-2. Jordan Polo. Hey, Paul, I don't know how this process exactly works, but you ever try reaching out to the MLB staff to try and land a job in commentating for the major leagues? That's an interesting question, Jord. Now the 3-2. Hit up the middle. Right past there from Cristopher, picking up his weather. He throws to first. And in time to get bomb going down the line for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks. Nobody left on. It is 7th inning stretch time down at Busch Stadium on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. I'm Paul D. And this is Bombers Game Mike. 5-1 Redbirds going bottom of 7 here in the rubber match on Getaway Day. Let's get back to the chat. Okay. So, as a note here real quick, due up in the bottom of the 7th inning for the Redbirds, Jimmy Crooks, Weatherhull, and Herrera. So 9-1-2 in the order. Now, George, to your question. So this channel was first created, as you can see on the channel description, back on March 18th of this year. The reason I did it is because back sometime in 2024, I noticed a few other people doing this for baseball. And I thought to myself, how cool is that? And it kind of stuck with me, kind of floating around my mind. I was involved in other things at that point. And then a little over a year ago, I was with my wife. And so the July 2025, and we were in London. It was about midnight. It was a couple days after we got in there, so I was still really jet lagged. And I was up like 1 in the morning playing MLB The Show in the living room. And it just struck me all at once that I felt compelled to do this. I knew I couldn't just start in the middle of a season, let alone like August 1. It would have to be at the beginning of a season to do it right. Really just to get completely caught up and whatnot. And of course, initially, I was doing this for the Yankees. How I got into the Cardinal thing, many people here know already. I guess the point in my telling you that, Jordan, is I really haven't been doing it this long. Now, we're here for the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-1 Redbirds here in the finale. I'll finish the rest off of the answer shortly there, Jordan. Due up, Crooks, Weatherall, Herrera, 9-1-2. But this is something I've always wanted to do. You know, when I first had the impulse to do it many, many, many years ago, like 2012, 2013, live streaming and certainly in this capacity with this ease was not a possibility. Now the first pitch to Crooks. A sinker inside, ruled a strike. The count is 0-1. And we got ourselves a new pitcher in here. The lefty Alvarado for the Phillies. Give you his numbers here in a moment. Lefty-lefty matchup. Alvarado comes set. The 0-1 to Crooks. Strike. Sinker on the outside corner. The count is 0-2. Alvarado in 43 2/3 innings pitch has a 5.77 ERA and a whip of 1.51. The 0-2. Hit to the right side, picked up on the ground there by Arias. He throws to first in time to get Jimmy Crooks going down the line. And Jimmy Crooks grounds out 4-3 for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. So that wasn't a thing yet. But when I saw people doing it again like mid-2024, and then I had the revelation I did in mid-2025, I had everything I needed to do. I just needed to sharpen things up because I had a lot of experience. I've spent a good 7 years in the podcasting world. Now, here is J.J. Weatherall, and here's the pitch. A four-seam fastball up and in and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. And so I felt that I could do it, but I knew it would take time. So the point is, I'm really early on in this process. The 1-0. A sinker strike on the outer third at the knees. The count is 1-1. And, hold on a second here. Let me clear up my voice a bit. Now the 1-1 pitch. A cutter upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. No, it's not a liability. I always kind of weave it in. It's one of the unique aspects about doing this sort of thing on YouTube. Now the 2-1 to Weatherall. A sinker away and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. But I needed that prep time. And I was lucky because technology-wise, I had everything I needed from being in the podcast and content creation world already. Now the 3-1 pitch. Swinging strike on the sinker down Broadway to Weatherall, and the count is 3-2 strikes. But whatever the future may hold, there's one thing that I am certain of right now. Alvarado looks in. Nobody on with one out, bottom of the seventh inning. 5-1 Redbirds. Setting up away is Real Muto. Now the 3-2 to JJ. Ball 4, so he works a one-out walk, and the Cardinals have a runner on first with one out here in the bottom of the seventh inning. Clearing up that voice. I feel a great sense of responsibility and commitment to you that have made Bombers Game Mike what it is. Now the first pitch to Ivan Herrera. A sinker upstairs and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. Herrera is 1 for 3. Right here at Game Mike is what's really important to me. Now Alvarado sets. Runner leads. There goes Weatherall. And he is into second, standing up. No throw from Real Muto. The pitch is called a strike, so he steals second uncontested. It is not defensive indifference. J.J. Weatherall just got a humongous lead, and Real Muto just didn't bother. So a runner on second with one out. It's a 1-1 count. Lefty-righty matchup. And the 1-1 to Herrera. A cutter down and in and out of the zone. The count is 2-1. Well, thank you, ZZ Captain Mastiff. A strikeout, swinging, a ground out into a double play, and a single with an RBI for Ivan Herrera. Runner on second with one out, bottom of the seventh inning, 5-1 Cardinals. Alvarado comes set at the letters. The 2-1. Strike, sinker down and in. The count is 2-2. So this is really what I'm dedicated to right now. Am I open to possibilities and future opportunities? Yes. Would I love that? Absolutely. But right now, I'm where I should be. Now, the 2-2 pitch. A sinker up and in and out of the zone. The count is 3-2. I believe that's 2, Heather. So a runner on second with one out, bottom of the seventh inning, 5-1 Cardinals. This is a 3-2 count here to Herrera. Coming sets the lefty Alvarado, the 3-2. Ball 4 on the sinker in. So now the Cardinals have runners on first and second with one out here in the the bottom of the seventh inning. And here comes Alec Burleson. So it'll be a lefty-lefty matchup. 15 pitches so far for Alvarado. Completely agreed, Missouri Gaming, and it's good to see you. He had a huge lead and a big jump. Runners on first and second following the consecutive walks by Alvarado. There is one out, bottom of the seventh inning, 5-1 Cardinals. On deck is Jordan Alexander Walker. Alvarado comes set, setting up away is Real Muto. The first pitch, hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit. Fielded there by Harper. Coming home is J.J. Weatherall, and that'll be an RBI single to right off the bat of Alec Burleson, and the Cardinals take a 6-1 lead. Oh, what a nice bit of hitting there off the bat of Alec Burleson, and that'll put runners on the corners with one out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Clearly, they're trying to put together some insurance there. Scoring easily from second was J.J. Weatherall, and Herrera almost overslid. He actually did overslide the bag going into third. So there is a mound visit here between the pitching coach and Alvarado and the rest of the infield. Runners on the corners with one out, one already in here in the bottom of the 7th for the Cardinals, and the Redbirds have a 6-1 lead here in Getaway Day, the rubber match of this 3-game set. Off day tomorrow, back on the road on the north side of Chicago against the Cubs for 3. It's all right, Missouri Gaming. Now, here is Jordan Walker. He's had a pretty good day. Pretty productive day. Lefty-righty matchup. Walker is 1 for 3. A stolen base, a run scored, a huge catch. Setting up away is Real Muto, the first pitch. A sinker up and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. They came in at 96 miles an hour. 17 pitches so far for Alvarado. Infield defense heavily shifted towards left with the righty Walker. In a modified double play depth with a runner on first and less than 2 out. The pitch. Chop foul down the third base side and out of play. Counts 1-1. I know, Missouri. I know. Alvarado sets the 1-1 to Walker. A sinker on the outer third ruled low for a ball. The count is 2-1. Another situation where the Phillies really wish they had an ABS challenge remaining. He comes set. Runners lead off first and third. Here's a pitch. A sinker down away and clear out of the zone, and the count is 3-1 to Jordan Walker. Oh, definitely, Heather. No question. Now the 3-1 pitch. Hit foul down the left field line and out of play on the cutter, and the count is full, 3-2 to Jordan Walker. On deck is Nate Church. Alvarado sets. Time is granted by the home plate umpire at the behest of Jordan Walker. Everybody take a drink. He gets back in the box. Runners lead off the corners with one out. It's a 3-2 count. Cummins sets Alvarado. The 3-2 pitch. Ball 4 on the cutter, down and in. So Alvarado with the free pass there loads the bases with one out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. One already in for the Redbirds. They have a 6-1 lead in the bottom of the 7th. And here comes Don Mattingly. And it would appear Donnie Baseball is going to the pen. He's going to the righty, Shugart. Out comes Alvarado. Give you his numbers in just a moment. So we have ourselves a pitching change. Donnie Baseball goes to the pen. I'll give you the numbers on Shugart as soon as I'm able to pull them up. The pond is full of ducks, Thurman. Oh, almost exactly the same time as you hit enter. Those words came out of my mouth. The pond is full of ducks, Thurman. Jeff, Paul, I know I'm showing my age. Pride of Yankees. Can't go wrong with Gary Cooper. No, you can't. And by all means, Jeff, show your age. As far as Paul D is concerned, age is a sign of success. Birds on a wire. That's a good one, Roger. Oh, Harold, my apologies. I missed the super chat earlier. I am so sorry. A $2 super chat earlier by Harold. The pride of the Yankees. Final answer. my apologies. I've just been distracted between the voice, doing the score bug, calling the game, and all of that. It's really appreciated, Harold. You are a real joy to have here. Oh, nice little bit there, Missouri Gaiman. Thank you, Harold. I appreciate your generosity of spirit in the matter. So the bases are loaded with one out. In is Shugart. Shugart, the 29-year-old right-hander, in 33 games this year, he has a 2-1 record with a 4.93 ERA in 38 1/3 innings pitched, 45 strikeouts in that span, and a whip of 1.33. He will face the lefty hitting center fielder Nate Church. Nate Church is 1 for 3 with an RBI this afternoon, hitting .234 on the year, and the pond is full of ducks. Thurman, the first pitch. There's a fly ball out into right field. Going over is Harper, and he makes the catch sliding. Tagging in, scoring from third is the runner. So a sac fly and an RBI for Nate Church, and that will make it a 7-1 Cardinal lead on the sacrifice fly and RBI off the bat of Nate Church. Scoring and tagging from third is Herrera, and they now have a 7-1 lead. Now there are runners on the corner with 2 outs. Here's the righty hitting shortstop for St. Louis, Mason Wynn. Runners lead off first and third. Righty-righty matchup. The first pitch from Shugart. A cutter up, and the count is 1-0 to Mason Wynn. Now he comes set. The 1-0 pitch. Swinging strike on the cutter down Broadway. The count is 1-1. So it's a 7-1 Cardinal lead here. Mason Wynn, a strikeout looking, a foul out, and a strikeout swing. He's 0 for 3. Had a big roll last night. Now the 1-1. Hit out there into right field. Going over is Harper towards the line into foul territory. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. However, the Cardinals, they push 2 more across and leave 2 on. We go to the top of the 8th inning here in the rubber match. The Businessman Special Getaway Day down at Busch Stadium on the western banks of the mighty Mississippi. I'm Paul D. And if you're enjoying my... Oh, excuse me a moment. If you're enjoying my Call of Redbird action here on Game Mike this afternoon, you haven't done so already, but you feel I've earned it, please do leave a like. We put a great deal of effort on putting on the best show we can for you, so if you're digging it, by all means, leave the like. It's helping the channel continue to grow, and you have my gratitude. And if you're not already subscribed and you're digging the experience, well then hit subscribe. We'd love to have you. With that said, 7-1 Cardinals going to the top of the 8th. All right. There we go. So the Cardinals, they're trying to put this thing away. They want to try and win their 3rd series in a row. And if they manage to pull out today, they will have beaten, and of those 3 series that they would have won in that case, 2 of the best among the best in baseball by way of the Yankees and the Phillies. And that would be saying a whole lot. I think this is something we all know and embrace. But there are still 2 innings left to play. Due up for the Phillies in the top of the 8th inning is Crawford, Schwarber, and Turner. So 9, 1, and 2 in the Phillies order. Fair enough, David. Let's put it this way. Given how they were playing, at the end of that Toronto series, it's just good to see them getting back on track. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Cristopher to Crawford. Strike. Curveball on the inside corner at the knees. The count is 0-1. Top of the 8th inning. 7-1 Redbirds here in the finale. Cristopher sets at the birds. Now the 0-1 pitch. Fouled straight back in the four-seam fastball upstairs. 94 miles an hour. The count is 0-2. No doubt I'll be using my off day tomorrow to rest my voice. Get some good sleep. Yes, they do, Missouri Gaming. George Lombard Jr. He's made an immediate impact. Common sets Graceffo. The 0-2. A four-seam fastball upstairs, and the count is 1-2. Of what I've seen of Justin Crawford, both at the plate and in center field for the Phillies, I could see this guy turning into a real player. Just like his dad. They have very similar gifts. Setting up away is Crooks, the 1-2. A changeup bounces out in front of home plate, and the count is 2-2. Justin Beasley, it's amazing. Ollie moves Walker back in the order, and we start scoring runs like crazy. Against some very tough competition today, Graceffo sets at the birds. Now the 2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball into shallow right field. Charging in is Walker. He makes the catch on the run for the first out of the inning. Speaking of on the run, the word on the street is 6 is a serious number. I don't know if they're still doing that deal anymore, but, you know, gotta play the hits, right? Yeah, they're showing the 3-1-3 double play from last night. Yeah, that was quite something. I'm still getting over that. Now here comes Kyle Schwarber, the DH. Schwarber is 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts, and the first pitch. A four-seam fastball strike on the inside corner. The count is 0-1. It's true, Roger. It's very true. That was an incredible experience. Now the 0-1. Hit to the right side. Picked up on the ground by Weatherall. He throws to first in time to get Schwarber, who grounds out 4-3 for the second out here in the top of the 8th inning. I mean, the 2011 team in composition is very different. A lot more experience. Guys who had already been through the wars. So in many ways, while there are clearly some similarities in the idea of, picking up your game in August, making a bit of a run here, this is going to be something unique if it turns into anything meaningful. Now, the first pitch to Turner. A slider down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. The thing I like most about it is it's showing growth and maturity from this team. Even after the trade deadline, losing some, not insignificant pieces. Righty-righty matchup, Turner is 0 for 3. The 1-0. Foul tipped on the slider down and away, and the count is 1-1. Oh, yeah. Well, he has a long way to go to catch up with Jeets. That's ultra cool. We'll see what happens, You can only hope. Now, the 1-1 pitch. Hit out there into right field. A couple steps to his right is Jordan Walker. He makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no walks, nobody left on. After 7.5 innings of play, it is 7-1. Redbirds going to the bottom of the 8th inning here on Getaway Day, the Businessman Special and Rubber Match. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. All right. Okay. So, going to the bottom of the 8th. Due up for the Redbirds in the bottom of the 8th inning. Let's bring it on over here. Is going to be Blaze Jordan, Perea, who has substituted Fairmean in left field, and then Jimmy Crooks. So 7, 8, 9 in the order. Jeff Coleman with the $2 super. I thank you so much, Jeff. It's always really appreciated, and you're very generous. I'm really looking forward to seeing what you send me when I get back in town. I'm really excited. For everybody, because I don't really heavily plug Super Chats. Everyone here knows that. But for those who have left it, Not only is it greatly appreciated, it's greatly helpful as well. Helps offset costs that come along with doing this stream, a variety of things. And it really matters, and I thank you all so much for your generosity. I know some of you give because others cannot, even though they want to. And that's very noble, and I appreciate that a great deal as well. This is really turned into a community. Sometimes I feel like the word community in the digital world gets thrown around a bit too loosely. Very different story here. All right, we're back here for the bottom of the 8th inning. 7-1 Redbirds. Blaze Jordan, Pereira, and then Crooks. It's a righty-righty matchup. Shugart, the righty's out for his second frame. The first pitch to Blaze Jordan. Strike, sinker on the outer third at the knees. The count is 0-1. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning. 7-1 Redbirds. The 0-1 pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball on the inside corner at the knees. The count is 0-2. Oh, did you? Well, hopefully it wasn't invasive, Missouri. Now, the 0-2. A cutter away, ruled a ball. The count is 1-2 to Blaze Jordan, who's 0 for 1. Did not start at the hot corner, but came in for Prieto. Common set Shugart. The 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Sinker on the outer third at the knees. Down looking goes Blaze Jordan for the first out of the inning. And Jeff Coleman with another $1 super. Thank you so much, Jeff. Yes, for those who can't. And that's an example here of why I say this is very much community. I feel like that does get thrown around too much in the digital world. Almost like they're trying to astroturf it into reality. Now the first pitch for Pereira. A four-seam fastball strike down Broadway. The count is 0-1. But you all have come together. You chat a lot. You're very good and kind to one another, very encouraging. The 0-1 hit out there into right center field and in for a one-out base hit to right center off the bat of Pereira. And the Cardinals have a runner on first with one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And it makes me very proud to see. Because obviously I couldn't do that alone. You guys have come together in that effort. And it speaks not just to Cardinal fans, because it's more than just Cardinal fans here, or even the channel. It comes to all of you. Now here is Jimmy Crooks, who's 0 for 3, who gets beamed on his right shoulder. So a hit by pitch there by Shugart, and that'll put runners on first and second with one out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. JoJo Spades got a run. Thanks for the fun, Paulie D. Go Cards. Be well, JoJo. It's always a pleasure to see you. So runners on first and second, one out. Here is Weatherall. He is 1 for 2. Here's the pitch. A changeup strike on the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Weatherall, a strikeout, a walk, and a single and a walk. He's been on base a lot. Runners lead, righty-lefty matchup, the 0-1. A cutter upstairs ruled a ball. The count is 1-1. Oh, it's okay to be greedy in this case, Mazzaro. He comes set to Shugart. The 1-1 to Weatherall. A cutter down and in, and the count is 2-1. Back into the saddle is Weatherall. Back onto the bump is Shugart. It's a 2-1 count. He comes set above the belt. The 2-1. A sinker downstairs and out of the zone. The count is 3-1. Jord, no doubt your fan base here is different than other creators in different platforms, Paul. Here, everyone is encouraging and I bet gives you a lot of consistency and dedication. Like none other. The 3-1. Strike, sinker on the outer third at the knees. The count is 3-2. No, this is a special group of people. Not just those in the chat, but there are many people who come back every day that just don't engage in that way. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. Change up on the inner third at the knees. Down looking goes J.J. Weatherall for the second out of the inning. Now here comes Ivan Herrera. It'll be a righty-righty matchup. No, this is a very unusual situation as the internet goes, and many times as YouTube goes. I'm really proud of it. Now, the first pitch to Herrera. A cutter down and way and out of the zone. The count is 1-0. I keep waiting for Weatherholt to need a rest since he's not used to the long season. It's an interesting point you make there, Missouri. Now, the 1-0 pitch. Strike, sinker down Broadway, 96 miles an hour, the right hand of Shugart. The count is 1-1. He had a groin strain back towards the end of June, but otherwise he's been very healthy. And, they do give him days off. They're pretty good about that. Runners lead, the 1-1. There's a fly ball out into center field. Going back is Crawford in front of the wall. Makes the catch right at the Bank of America sign in right center for the third and final out of the inning. No runs, no hits. One walk, a hit by pitch, and 2 left on. After 8 full innings of play, it is 7-1 Cardinals going to the top of the 9th inning. I'm Paul D, and this is Bombers Game Mike. Let's get back to that chat. All right. Now, with a 7-1 lead here, I think it's unlikely Riley O'Brien will be coming into the game. Never say never. I just think it's unlikely. Due up for the Phillies in the top of the 9th inning. Last licks for them. Bryce Harper, Arraez, and Stott. So 3, 4, and 5 in the Phillies order. Okay. Hey, it's the Happy Hodag. James Dudley. There's a new name for me. A highlight to my day to listen to you call the game. Well, thank you so much, James Dudley. I'm glad you're digging it. Thank you for letting me know. That really does mean a lot to me. Yeah, you're probably right, Jeremiah. There's no question about it, in fact. That would happen more than a few times. So, Ali Marmol is going to the 24-year-old right-hander Luis Gastelum. Had a very good night the other night. 13 games this year, a 2-2 record, a 7.36 ERA, 14 in the third innings pitched for Gastelum, 13 strikeouts in that span, and a whip of 1.43. He will face the middle of this Phillies order here in the top of the 9th. It's a 7-1 Cardinal lead as we pick up here in the top of the 9th. Gave you his numbers just a moment ago. Philip, asleep, wake, and find out you are all enjoying a card transition. Paul missed your voice. Now here I am, the first pitch to Harper. Swinging strike on the changeup in. The count is 0-1. So Bryce Harper here against Gastelum. Righty-lefty matchup. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 9th, 7-1 Redbirds. Here's the pitch. Fouled back on the changeup away, and the count is 0-2. Let's hope they hold on, John Harding. Luis Gastelum, like I said, in his last outing was very, very good. He's really been honing his changeup here at the big league level, playing it off his four-seamer. And time is briefly granted there to Bryce Harper, who steps out of the box. He gets back into the saddle. He has a strikeout looking, a double, and a walk. He's 1 for 2 as Harper. Infield defense heavily shifted towards right with the lefty Harper. Now the 0-2. A changeup down and away and out of the zone. The count is 1-2. Choo-choo. Hey, Bomber. Nice series. Sweep would have been sweet, though. Indeed, Choo-choo. Don't call me Bomber. Call me Paul D. We're all friends here. The 1-2. A four-seam fastball away and out of the zone. The count is 2-2. Gastelum sets the 2-2. A changeup away ruled a ball. The count is 3-2. Oh, the 6 columns? At-bats, runs, hits, RBIs, walks, and strikeouts. And the 3-2, a changeup away, and that's ball 4. So Bryce Harper works a leadoff walk here in the top of the 9th inning against Gastelum. And the Phillies have a runner on first, nobody out here in the top of the 9th inning. The Redbirds have a 7-1 lead. And here is the lefty second baseman, Luis Arias, recently acquired at the deadline from San Francisco out of his Bay Area exile. The first pitch. Strike, four-seam fastball on the outer third, and the count is 0-1. Gastelum looks in. Harper leads off first. Arias is in the saddle. Gastelum comes set above the belt. The 0-1. There's a fly ball out into center field. Going back is Nate Church. He's underneath it. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Retreating back to first is Harper. So there's your first out. Arias flies out 8 for the first out here in the top of the 9th. Now here comes the third baseman, Stott. Stott is 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Righty-lefty matchup. The first pitch from Gastelum. Fouled back on the four-seam fastball, down and in. The count is 0-1. Runner leads off first. It's a 7-1 Redbird lead here in the finale, the rubber match. They have the off day tomorrow. The 0-1. Chop foul down the first base side. Actually rolls over into the Cardinal dugout, and the count is 0-2. So off day tomorrow, but we pick up the action again on Friday afternoon. First of 3 up on the north side of Chicago at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. Gastelum comes set. The 0-2. Swinging strike 3. Down. Hack and go. Stott. For the second out of the inning. That was a changeup down and in. As a broadcasting note, for Friday's game, that's a 1:20 p.m. first pitch Central Time. I'll be live here on Game Mike at 1:10 p.m. Central Time with the play-by-play live stream. Now here's De La Cruz, righty-righty matchup. The pitch. Foul tipped and off his foot on the sinker away, and the count is 0-1. So that's 1:20 p.m. Central Time on Friday afternoon. First pitch from Wrigley Field against the Cubs. I'll be live here at 1:10 p.m. Central Time with the play-by-play live stream on Game Mike. The 0-1. Swinging strike on the sweeper away, and the count is 0-2. So the Cardinals are 1 out away. Runner on first, 2 out. Top of the 9th inning, 7-1 Redbirds. De La Cruz is 0 for 1. He's in the 6 hole. The 0-2. Swinging strike 3. Down, flailing goes De La Cruz. For the final out of the game, it's a 7-1 Cardinal victory. They have taken 2 out of 3. The rubber match today, their 3rd series win in a row. And with that 7-1 victory, here's the victory tune. 7-1 Cardinals over the Phillies is your final. Play your air guitars wherever you may be. Seven-1 Cardinals over the Philadelphia Phillies is your final. Here in the rubber match of this 3-game set, the Cardinals, they take 2 of 3 from the Phillies, their 3rd series victory in a row. 2 of 3 from the New York Yankees at the big ballpark in the Bronx. 2 of 3 from the listless Colorado Rockies this past weekend. And 2 of 3 here at Busch against the very competitive, very clutch, very gutsy Philadelphia Phillies. 7-1 Cardinals over the Phillies is your final. I'd like to thank you all so much for spending your afternoon here with me on Game Mike. Kyle Leahy with the win today. He improves to 9-4. Zack Wheeler, he falls to 10-4. The Cardinals, they improved to 61-60. They are now one game over 500. And the Phillies fall to 64-58. So I'd like to thank you all so much for spending part of your Wednesday afternoon here on Getaway Day between the Cardinals and the Phillies right here on Game Mike. There's no place I'd rather be, nothing else I'd rather be doing with no other people on this planet. You, each and every one of you, I thank considerably for everything you do each and every game coming here and making Game Mike what it is. I could not be more grateful for that. Now, a broadcasting note reiterating the upcoming schedule. There is an off day for travel tomorrow. However, on Friday, the Cardinals, they begin a 3-game weekend series against the Cubs up at Wrigley Field on the north side of Chicago. Scheduled first pitch from Wrigley Field on Friday afternoon is 1:20 p.m. Central Time. I will be live here on Game Mike at 1:10 p.m. Central Time. So 1:20 p.m. Central Time, scheduled first pitch from Wrigley on Friday. I'll be live here at 1:10 p.m. Central Time with the play-by-play live stream here on Bombers Game Mike. I'd like to thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. DJ Nick Fly, thanks, Paul. Great job today. Rest up and hope to catch you Friday. Have a great day, chat. Peace out. Be well, DJ Nick Fly. Zach, thanks, Paul D. Another great afternoon. I appreciate the kind words, Zach. It was a lot of fun. Jeremiah, bye, Paul D. and chat. Have a good rest of your day and your off day tomorrow, Jeremiah. Harold Houseman, bye, guys. See you all Friday. Enjoy your time off there, Harold. It'll be great to see you. Skip Kerr, thank you, Paul D. And thank you, Skip Kerr. Dwayne Pack, great job, Paul D. Way to hang in there. Thank you so much, TJ Nick Fly. Man, love that guitar. You and me both. Dave Elliott, nicely done, Cardinals. Great job, Paul. Well, thank you, Dave Elliott. Cardinal Schaefer, congrats, Redbirds. Great game. Cheers to that. Philip, still great broadcast, Paul. Thank you so much, Philip. Jord Polo, thank you for today, Paul. Was entertaining as always. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. We are over 500 again now. You know it. Thurman, well done, Paul. Rest that voice. Good night, everyone. Be well, Thurman. Send my best to the missus. That's a winner indeed. I'm glad you all enjoy playing your air guitar. See, John, holla. Holla back at you, my friend. Holla back at you. Alan Hall, the start of a win streak. We can only hope. James Dudley. Nice job, Paul. Well, thank you, James. See, John. Great call, Paulie D. Cheers, everyone. Have a nice day. Look forward to the rivalry weekend. I'll be here for it. I am here for it. And I look forward to seeing you all here for it. Zeke. Thanks, Paul D. You got it, Zeke. Steven Rissler. I ain't no holla back, girl. Love it. Love it. MHK, rest your voice tomorrow. You won't have to ask twice, MHK. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mike. 7-1 Cardinals over the Phillies is your final. They take the rubber match of this 3-game set, taking 2 out of 3 in a row. This has been a presentation of Bombers Game Mike. Bombers Game Mike. Over and out. Be well, both you and yours, wherever you may be. I'll see you all on Friday afternoon there on the north side of Chicago for the rivalry. The Cardinals have some payback that's due up, and I surely hope the Cubs are the target of it. Thank you all so much. 7-1 Cardinals over the Phillies is your final. Thank you all so much. Have a great rest of your day and off day. I'll see you on Friday afternoon. 7-1 Cardinals over the Phillies. 2 of 3. Have a great day.